Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Chuck has appeared. He figured it out. Indeed. Well, this show can be seen on Keys Living TV, channel 27, weekdays, 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., and on Roku streaming and on your phone app for Keys Living TV. So there's Chuck. Good morning to Chuck. We're going to say morning right away to Chuck Lysis Mason with us from Take Stock in Children. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Michael. Yes, I figured out the gremlin. So I told you I did my hair for you this morning.
You did, and I got mine cut for you. How about that? So we're in good company. So Take Stock in Children. We are coming to the end of the school year. People can find out more at Monroe County Education Foundation online, monroecountyedfound.com, whereby you supply scholarships for those who complete the program, as well as help with their housing costs, etc., as they pursue upper education. And how many graduates do we have this year?
We have 69 graduates. This is an exciting time of the year for us. It culminates the hard work that we do, but also the hard work that our kids do. It's their perseverance, their grit, their passion towards the program and towards their higher education that reaches this moment where 69 of our students across the county, including 6 high schools. So we have the 3 county high schools, as well as a graduate from the academy at the College of the Florida Keys, a graduate from Somerset Island Prep, and a graduate from St. Mary's Basilica School as well. So we have 6 schools we're representing. And Michael, we're going to give away $2 million worth of scholarships on Saturday.
That is unbelievable. $2 million. And the state does match the grants that are given by Take Stock in Children, right?
Absolutely. So every dollar we raise is matched by Florida Prepaid through the Florida Prepaid College Foundation. So it doubles our fundraising efforts. And we purchase these special scholarships for our students. They're 2+2, which for your listeners, what that means is that 60 hours are college hours, and then 60 hours are university hours. And if you remember, you need 120 credit hours to earn a bachelor's degree. We provide those hours. And as you mentioned previously, we also provide 2-year dormitory plans for many of our students attending universities. We have 43 this year out of the 69 students. 43 are going directly to university, and they are accessing those 2-year dormitory scholarships to help with housing for 2 years.
Well, those costs continue to rise, and these opportunities would not be possible were it not for Take Stock in Children. Again, Chuck Lysis Mason with us, Take Stock in Children, 69 graduates on Saturday. We encourage the public to come out and cheer them on.
Yeah, we'll be at Marathon High School in the Performing Arts Center, informally known as the PAC. 11 o'clock is processional. It is about an hour performance, or ceremony, if you will. We have several guest speakers. We have students who speak. And then we also hand out the medallions and the scholarships at the end of the ceremony. So it lasts about an hour and a half in Marathon, 11 o'clock. And we would love for the public to join us. We have school board members who join us, and as well as the Monroe County Education Foundation board members, elected officials, and then the family, friends, and everyone involved in these kids join us as well. And the mentors. And it's ceremonial because our mentors, they've been working with these kids for some upward to 6 years. They've been following these students through middle school and high school. And on Saturday, this is a culminating event. They escort their student, their mentee, across the stage. They give them a hug, and the mentor peels off into the audience, and the student sits on stage, and they're handing off the student to the next level of education, that is college and then career.
And then we go and approach the mentors and ask them if they would like to serve all over again, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And we have several who step up and want to do it. They really are passionate about the program. They enjoy it. It only takes 30 minutes out of your week during the school year. So one day a week for about 30 minutes, you meet with your student during lunch or during elective period on school campus. And you're not an Uber or an ATM or a tutor. You're more or less a confidant, someone who can, with good listening skills, and you help them develop self-advocacy skills and find solutions to challenges and get them ready for college. And you work in succession with the college readiness coach we have in all of our schools as well, who work directly with the students.
Chuck Lysis Mason with us, Take Stock in Children. with the graduation coming up on Saturday, and then they will have their other graduation ceremonies following over the next coming weeks.
Absolutely. So our grads will receive a medallion, a Take Stock medallion, which they'll wear at their high school graduations. And if memory serves me correctly, the Wednesday after Memorial Monday is Coral Shores, Thursday should be Marathon, and Friday is Key West High School. Those are the three main high schools in the county school district. And they'll wear their medallions and represent Take Stock in Children at those ceremonies. Absolutely.
And do you have alums that come back, alums in the program who come back to the graduations from time to time?
Sometimes, yes, we do. And we have the start of an alumni association. Michael Stern, he's a chiropractor in Key West, and he's the president of the Alumni Association. We have Alex Flores and Samantha Barabetic and some others as well, and Gavin Dietrich, he's an alum, part of that process. They're back in town. We have alums also in Marathon, and we have alums up in Coral Shores and the Upper Keys, and sure, they will attend. Dr. Bellotti, Christina Bellotti, she's a teacher at Marathon High School. She usually attends, and she's from our first Take Stock graduating class in 2001. So she always enjoys, she's a great supporter of Take Stock in Children. And we have a couple of teachers as well at Coral Shores who normally attend.
Well, Take Stock in Children makes such a positive impact on our community and on the students who become leaders in our community, as you just cited several examples of that. Chuck Lysis Mason with us, Take Stock in Children. You can find out more, MonroeCountyEdFound.com. So many mentors also are familiar leaders in our community who often talk about how much they get out of the program. And not to jump ahead too much, but we are already looking towards next year, always looking for mentors. And the application process for the students, refresh my memory, the deadlines for that, have they passed?
No, thank you for that cue as well, because that was going to be my next mention, that while we are graduating 69 students, we are also looking ahead to the 26-27 school year. And the application process will begin in early August, and that will be online as well. We'll pass out information. I'm sure I'll be back on your show to talk about where they can find that QR code and that link, and they can fill out the application. There are academic guidelines that the student must meet and income guidelines that the household parent must meet as well. And I can explain all that, but that starts August 1, and we will start the process all over again.
Well, thank you, Chuck, for being here this morning. Unless there's anything else we should be mentioning at this time, we will look forward to the graduation and a follow-up report on that. And you indeed did not do your hair in vain this morning. So we
thank you. Thank you. I want to shout out to the Keys Weekly. You'll see our advertisement in the Keys Weekly edition this week, and you can see all of our students and mentors who are graduating on Saturday. So take a look at that, and we hope to see you on Saturday at 11 o'clock at Marathon.
Very good. Thank you, Chuck, for all that you do. Congratulations on continued success of Take Stock in Children and the positive impact it truly has. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Yes,
we
do the same. Yes, sir. Chuck Lysis Mason with us, Take Stock in Children. Find out more at MonroeCountyEdFound.com is where you find out about that. Going to be a nice day. 84 degrees currently. We are on our way to about 90 again with just a slight chance of showers. We'll be right back with more of Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
In the Florida Keys, there's a name people trust for pool construction and remodels. Islamorada Pools. For years, residential and commercial property owners from Key Largo to Key West have trusted their team to design, build, remodel, and repair some of the most beautiful pools in the islands. Building a brand new backyard retreat, transforming an aging commercial pool, they bring craftsmanship, experience, and attention to every detail. They're local, they live here year-round, and they know what it takes to build and renovate pools that stand up to the Keys climate while delivering true luxury and long-term durability. From new construction and remodels to repairs, equipment upgrades, and decorative concrete, every detail matters. Your pool should reflect the quality of your property. Islamorada Pools makes that happen. Call 305-852-3133. Visit their showroom at 86701 Overseas Highway, Suite 103 in Islamorada, or online at islamorada.pools.com. Islamorada Pools, trusted, local, and built for the Keys.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold, delicious ground coffee, always brewing, and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now, Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in store with 24 hours advance notice. Enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. Old Town Bakery, KeyWest.com.
The IRS can take your bank account. You heard me right. The IRS can take your bank account. My name is Steve Klitzner. I'm a Miami tax attorney who helps people and businesses who owe money to the IRS. There are 3 things the IRS can do to make your life miserable. They can take all the money in your bank account, they can take your wages, and they can take your passport. If you owe the IRS money, give me a call and let's work together to stop these things from happening to you. Call me at 305-682-1118 for a free confidential consultation, and we will fight to keep the IRS out of your pocketbook and out of your life. The IRS has great power, but taxpayers have great rights, and I can help you enforce them. The sooner the better. Call me today at 305-682-1118. That's 305-682-1118.
Do you want a reliable, fast, and convenient way to travel between the mainland and the Keys? The Dade Monroe Express is your solution. Service runs early morning through late evening, 7 days a week. Whether you're commuting or just visiting, Dade Monroe Express has got you covered. And the best part? You can try it for free. Visit trytransitfree.com and select Dade Monroe Express. Don't wait. Discover a stress-free way to travel to and from the Keys. The Dade Monroe Express is operated by Miami-Dade Transit.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Good morning to you. It is already the 14th of May. Hard to believe that, as we're midway through May, almost midway through the year. No major incidents to report up and down US 1. As we say good morning to Chris Massicott. Chris is running for Key West Commissioner, District 5. And good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being here. Wow, hard to believe we're already almost halfway through this election year. We are quickly progressing to when voters will make their decisions.
It's just about 90 days away.
Oh my gosh.
The election is August 18th, and that's why you're seeing signs all over Key West. And, the real campaigning usually starts about, 3 months out. So here we are. So we're getting into the full swing of it.
We are. Well, you've been active for quite some time leading up to this election. Of course, you've been serving in many different capacities in our community, and you've taken an active role in following city developments and city policy and decision-making, et cetera. What would you like to highlight? I mean, there's so much to talk about from the standpoint of the city and politics and what's happening. What's first and foremost on your mind? Put it that way.
There's 2 things. And the first one is something that was discussed at the city commission meeting a week ago. It feels like yesterday, but it was actually a whole week ago. And that was the second grand jury report that was released shortly before earlier last week. And, the grand jury in Florida has 2 different roles. One is obviously to indict possible serious crimes and indict people, but it's also to hold cities and hold local governments accountable and to review their processes. And that's what this particular grand jury was doing. And I found it very disappointing that the current commissioners and the current, management of the city was really dismissive of the report, in that they said, oh, well, they don't know Key West and they don't know how things work. And this is, how we're doing it. And, we're not going to, add any more information to our website about this second report. And I just think it should, excuse me, should have been taken more seriously. And that's something that I was very disappointed in the last commission meeting. And then something that wasn't talked about was the outer mole and the Navy canceling that lease. That's been I've been following that, and if you know, I was very involved in the campaign in 2020 for the referendums for cruise ships, and I really am very happy with the compromise that we came up with over the last several years, which is one large ship a day at Pier B, and wherever the city controls the ports there, we are going to only welcome smaller ships, which we have been at Mallory Square with American Cruise Line. We haven't used the outer mole, and they haven't been charging us rent since 2020. The only time we've ever used it is for powerboat races, and we really use the outer mole for powerboat races. You've been there. It's it's packed and it's a wonderful day and everything. And that unfortunately got put at risk when the city manager put it out there that they wanted to explore canceling the lease, and I guess the Navy took the lead on that and just went ahead and did it without any consultation. So I'm monitoring that very closely. They've already put out a request for information for ideas as to what to do with it. So the Navy's not going to let it sit idle. But the city had a real opportunity to do some other things with it that we haven't, historically done. And in 2018, they were able to come up with a resolution that had other accepted uses for the outer mole. And aside from the boat races, we haven't utilized it. So I kind of understand where the Navy is coming from, but unfortunately, we've lost as a city the leverage over what happens there, and we really need to monitor that closely.
Chris Massacott running for City Commission for the City of Key West, Commissioner District 5. You can find out more at chris4keywest.com, spell out for chris4keywest.com. So the city website has said for a little while, it states that 91% completion of the recommendations of grand jury recommendations on the first time around. And now we do have a second grand jury report. And apparently there will be some votes as to recommendations. I was speaking with Sam Kaufman the other day, and some recommendations may be forthcoming. But do you have any comment on how we've done living up to the recommendations of the first report? And it's yet to be seen how we respond to the second report.
Well, it's subjective whether what you consider complete or not.
Okay.
One of the items was recommending that Todd Stoughton, the assistant city manager, resign. Instead, he was reassigned and given a raise. So then they marked that complete. So is that complete to me? The other one was they recommended District 4 Commissioner Lisette Carey resign. She's still up there. And they've marked that complete. Is that also 91% complete? I guess our term's 91% over, so perhaps we're almost there. But I just think that we need to be looking at this from a more holistic standpoint and not just say, okay, well, this was done or we dismissed that. We still don't have an independent auditor position that they recommend that we create. And maybe there's some, restrictions on how you can structure that and everything, but we don't even talk about what things that we can do to make our city more transparent, to make it run more efficiently, and to make sure that we're not wasting taxpayer dollars. And you know that I keep saying it, that I'm a very fiscal conservative when it comes to how we spend taxpayer dollars. If I'm going to ask you for more money from your property taxes, from fees or whatever, I want you to rest assured that we are using it and stretching that dollar as far as it can go, because people are having a hard time affording everything. And the things that we can control, we should be doing a better job at keeping those costs down. I just went to fill up my gas tank, and I have a tiny little car with a 9-gallon gas tank, and it cost me $55 to fill up. So, we do have an affordability issue here. And I think the first and foremost thing that we need to do is not contribute to that.
Okay, Chris Massacott running for District 5 Commissioner for the City of Key West. on Good Morning Keys. And of course, you're a former accountant and auditor with PricewaterhouseCoopers, among others. So auditing and accountability and fiscal responsibility is certainly in your wheelhouse. Where else do you see the need for efficiency, fiscally speaking, with city government?
Well, I think that we need to look at our staffing levels.
Mm,
The grand jury noted that we have three highly paid assistant city managers. Do we really need three highly paid assistant city managers? Do we need to, streamline our processes? Can we use AI, for example, to, get more efficiencies? Because one of the biggest, issues that city government says all the time is how hard it is to find people to work at, any given job, right? And it's hard to find people in the case. What if we could do more with the same number of people, or do more with fewer staff? So that's something that's I think that we can find efficiencies with. And I also think that what we also need to do is, fully fund our transit program. We acquired an electric bus that I've yet to see run.
mm,
And transit is really important, but it's only good if people know about it, it's marketed well, and it's very easy for them to use. And we just continue to make it harder and harder for people to get around the city and get it, to and from work if they don't have a car. And I
mm,
want to, get away from that car-centric idea and just know that there are, scheduled transit buses and stuff. And I want to bring like things like the Duval Loop back,
mm.
so that we can do that. I think that would be a great application for that electric bus, to have that silently kind of, working its way around Old Town. I think would be a great application for it. So
Hmm.
there's a lot
Mhm.
of things that we can improve and, really have strong discussions on that.
Okay, very well. And I know Key West Transit has been making moves to try to promote and market themselves, and we do have their director on from time to time. So I will defend him in that respect, but there always can be more, and I
Oh,
can
there always can
grant
be
you
more.
that.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
you remember when the Duval Loop had those brightly colored buses and they were beautifully
Yes. Yeah.
wrapped and the
Yeah.
stops were clearly marked? What happened to that? That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I want to see those kinds of things that people know about it, that our
Yeah.
visitors know about it. And and you're right. The transit director, does the best job that he can given the resources he has in doing that.
Yeah, and there have been cuts there that have affected that specifically. Yeah, Chris for keywest.com, Chris Mascott running for District 5. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, Chris, already halfway through the year. Just give us an update on the campaign. Your momentum, I'm sure, is continuing to build. And how can people get involved?
Yeah, you're seeing yard signs out there. One thing in particular is that I am right now concentrating on only putting yard signs in the district. Yard signs in right of ways and elsewhere doesn't really show support. It's just to me, it's more site pollution. People know our names. People know that what we're running for. I want people to see this neighbor supports this candidate. This neighbor supports me, and they support change for Key West, and that also sparks conversations among other people. And that's what we're doing here is we're contacting voters one on one. We're identifying voters and making sure that they vote on August 18th. And one thing I definitely want to highlight for your listeners is that if they typically vote by mail, you must register every single election. So you can go to Vote Monroe, Florida Keys. .com, the supervisor of elections office. It is very easy to sign up online, and people need to do that. And they're more than happy to go to Christopher Key West because there's information on there. And one last thing I did want to highlight, Michael, because I just was so happy to see that happened at the evening session, was that two major housing projects have moved forward on Thursday, and that is the Monroe County School Districts at Trumbo Point
Mhm.
is moving forward. And man, those renderings are gorgeous, and I'm so excited to see that project move forward. That's going to house teachers and first responders and all these other folks that are so essential to the health and well-being of our community, and also the redevelopment of Ponciana Gardens out that
Gardens.
Health and Housing Monroe is doing. They've changed their name from AH Monroe, and that's moving forward. And I love to see that. So these projects were a long time coming, and we constantly need to be looking at opportunities there that we can continue to build good housing, build decent housing for folks that make our community tick.
Very well. Well, thank you for those positive updates as well. And again, go to chris4keywest.com to learn more about Chris Mascott running for City Commissioner, District 5, City of Key West. Chris, thank you so much for visiting with us this morning. We will do so again very soon.
Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure.
Likewise. Take care now. It is Chris Mascott. Yes, sir. On Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, The Talk of the Keys. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town Key West, or twofriends.com.
It's almost time. The Lower Keys Chamber of Commerce 33rd Annual Dolphin Tournament is happening June 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hook your chance at a $10,000 grand prize for the largest dolphin caught, plus cash prizes for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, awesome trophies, and extra prizes just for the youth division. Sign up before the end of May to save $50 on your registration now at lowerkeyschamber.com or call 305-872-2411. Sponsored by Lower Keys Tackle and the Monroe County Tourist Development Council.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Attention Key West! The Rotary Club of Key West invites you to step into the speakeasy as they present the Roaring Twenties Casino Night, Saturday, May 16th from 6:30 to 11 p.m. at Beachside Resort. This isn't just another fundraiser, it's your night, Key West, where the clinking of conch chips meets the swell of live jazz from the Key West Jazz Society, and where every roll of the dice and flip of a card sends another local student closer to their dreams. Enjoy tastings and sips from Naughty Beach Rum and El Bandito Tequila, as well as non-alcoholic beverages, a 360-degree photo opportunity, a live raffle and auction, prizes for the best costume, and of course, what's a casino night without a variety of casino games? Proceeds from this event funds Rotary Foundation scholarships, giving our community students the support they deserve. Pre-sale early bird tickets available now for $100, which includes $150 in conch chips, or purchase at the door for $150, which includes $100 in conch chips. Step back in time for the Key West Rotary Club's Roaring Twenties Casino Night, Saturday night, May 16th. For tickets and more information, visit kwrotarycasinonight.org. Special thanks to title sponsor Hank's Hair of the Dog Saloon.
In Key West, getting around should feel simple, and it is, with Key West Transit by your side. For years, we've helped locals and visitors move through the island with ease, and we're here to keep you moving forward. Whether you're catching the Workforce Shuttle, riding the Lower Keys Shuttle, or booking a quick trip with Key West Rides on Demand, there's a ride that fits your day.
Wherever you're headed, start your trip at kwtransit.com. That's kwtransit.com.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, The Talk of the Keys. Very nice looking morning again here, 84 degrees. We're on our way to 90 on this, the 14th of May, and no major incidents being reported up and down US 1. We're going to get right to the mayor of Monroe County. It is Mayor Michelle Lincoln with us this morning. Hello, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. I'm sitting here in my kitchen. This is kind of crazy that we're live. I'm drinking my coffee out of my Florida Keys coffee mug and seeing how much caffeine I can get in my body before I start my day.
That is a sizable mug you have there, and there is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Luckily, you did not have the jitters as you were on the paddleboard last Monday for the proclamation. You were quite poised, and rightfully so, and that's a good thing, as you declared National Tourism Week? Did I have it right? And then
Yes.
you did a proclamation literally signed on the paddleboard amongst other dignitaries out on just off of No Name Key.
Yes, that was so much fun. We were a little concerned about what the weather was going to do. If you recall, it was a stormy Sunday, and the forecast said stormy on Monday. We were very lucky that it didn't. We did a dress rehearsal on Friday afternoon because we were all just concerned about the logistics of everything. And I'm so glad we did that, because they're like, yeah, just, get out on the paddleboard and then sign the proclamation, put it up to the drone so that everyone could see it, and then sign it. And I'm like, well, where is the proclamation going to be? Because I need both hands to paddle aboard. So then we came up with this, I'm going to wear it around my neck on a clipboard. So there was so many logistics of when I then picked my paddle up, I start floating away. Everyone else is stationary. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. And I'm just so proud of all of the other elected officials who were brave like I was, and bold and strong and balanced, and said, let's get out on a paddleboard and have fun with the proclamation.
Well, you had a historic quote after you got off the paddleboard, and I believe that bold and strong were part of that quote that you gave us as well. So
it was, and it was straight from the heart and the adrenaline running in my body. But it is absolutely true to be an elected official anywhere, but especially in the Florida Keys, where you have so many different personalities from Key West through Key Largo, and different issues and concerns. And to be an effective leader here, you really do need to be bold, and you really need to be strong, and you need to be balanced, because it takes all of those characteristics and more to truly be effective in leading your community.
Well, and if I can say so, you certainly exhibit those qualities on our behalf, and we are grateful for that. We are speaking with Mayor Michelle Lincoln with us, and you are getting ready to speak for the Governor's Hurricane Conference, I believe. So tell us about that, please.
Yes. So every year there is the Governor's Hurricane Conference, where all of the leaders and people in the hurricane industry get together to share best practices. And so Commissioner Jim Scholl and our emergency director, Corey Sweezow, and myself have been invited to speak on a panel on the roles of elected officials during a state of emergency, because everything kind of goes a little wonky. So looking forward to sitting on that panel with my colleagues. I believe there'll be other people on that panel from, I think from Broward County and from, I think, Lee County. So other counties that have also experienced hurricanes and the different roles we all must assume during a state of emergency.
Well, and as the president of the Florida Association of Counties, which is how you serve currently as well, I'm sure you have an even more expanded perspective from a statewide perspective, as well as that of our county.
Absolutely. I know last 2 years in our legislative session that leads up before the state legislative sessions, we discuss policies, and one of the policies we always discuss is communication to commissioners during states of emergency, and the ability for commissioners to still weigh in with their opinions. So yes, it's always and it's always good to see my colleagues from other parts of the state.
And it is Mayor Michelle Lincoln with us this morning from Monroe County on Good Morning Keys. And with the Hurricane Conference, I'm sure that we will be talking about not being complacent, always being prepared. We've heard that we may have it a little easier this year. But again, I can only imagine that the message will be always be prepared and vigilant.
Absolutely. And Michael, I'm not trying to jinx us or anything, but it's been years. I think 2017 was when Irma hit. I would imagine there are people who are living here now who were not living here during our last evacuation. And it's so important for everyone to start planning right now what they would want to pack in a bag to potentially leave here and be gone for a few days and might come home to a not ideal situation in their own home. So now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to get your extra month of medical supplies, all of your paperwork, all the documents that you need to take with you, have them already in a bag ready to roll out the door, so that you're not, when you're faced with that emergency, the stress level in your brain is incredible. And it's so if you've already have your plan in place, then you can calmly implement your plan.
Yes. Mayor Michelle Lincoln with us. She's mayor of Monroe County on Good Morning Keys. So we have a Board of County Commissioners meeting coming up on the 20th of the month. And one thing that is of note right off the bat is another congratulations in order to the Marathon International Airport right in your own backyard, receiving the 2026 SEC AAAE, which I'm sure stands for something very important. It's the Runway Project of the Year Award. So how about that? There's continuing recognition of the Marathon Airport as we possibly move towards commercial flights again.
I know, that's very exciting. I think that the airport, when I first had that run across my desk, I thought for sure it said Key West International Airport, because they're receiving so many awards and compliments on the beautiful job of that brand new concourse. And then I'm like, wait, that says Marathon for the new runway. So very excited about that and all of the work that is going to be planned for that airport. And hats off to Richard Strickland, our director of airports. He is really doing a fabulous job at both airports, listening to the needs of our community, not just in Key West, but also in the Middle Keys, with their desire for bringing back commercial air service. And the runway was absolutely the first step in that process. So very excited to hear more from Richard about that airport and about all the work that they've been doing at both airports and continuing to do.
Yes, indeed. Well, I want to make sure that we do touch on the highlights and the imperatives and initiatives that are important to you in this discussion. I did also want to make mention, though, with Memorial Day coming up on May 25th, of course, county offices will be closed, but there will be a plethora of opportunities to honor the fallen, starting with Key West Cemetery at 9 a.m. Veterans Affairs will be very involved, just trying to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to recognize those who we are forever indebted to.
Absolutely. We would not be where we are with the freedoms we have today if it were not for the brave that ensured our freedom, and some made the ultimate sacrifice of their lives, and we want to always honor and remember them and their families. So yes, that will be all this weekend. I think starting tomorrow night, we've got something at in Key West, and then it goes through the weekend. Yes. Michael, I'd be remiss if we didn't, in our recognitions, also say we're recognizing Monroe County's fleet management program.
Yes.
They also earned top 10 national ranking in the United States of America. And super excited for them. And it's also Automotive Service Professionals Month. So just very excited about our fleet program. I know a few years ago, we recognized them for every one of the employees have received the highest amount of certifications imaginable for their line of work. So very proud of our fleet management department, as well as all of our departments that work for us here in Monroe County.
And they serve us well. And also we speak with Maureen Dunleavy on a regular basis. Yes. She's also very involved in, she's a recent graduate of Leadership Monroe, of which you were also a graduate. Yes. So, but you will be declaring May 17th through the 23rd as Guidance Care Center Week in Monroe County, Florida. So we thank you for that recognition of the imperative work that Guidance Care Center does in our community ongoing. And then we're going to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our nation here in Monroe County for the rest of the year, pretty much.
We are the semi-quincentennial celebrations.
I still don't have that phrase down. You've got it. I do not. Yes.
I do. I'm going to use it for the rest of the year.
I should practice. Well, indeed. Well, Mayor, I know you've got a busy day to get to, and you need to have time we should allow you time to prepare your remarks for the governor's hurricane conference, among other duties. But is there anything else that we should highlight for the common good at this time?
Just everyone in the Big Pine area, we will be having a community meeting on Thursday, March 28th. I think I'll be back on your radio station prior to that, where we are going to really dive into the habitat conservation plan and the incidental taking plan for the Big Pine and No Name Key area. We wanted to have a community meeting prior to having our county commission meeting in June. Let me just put it out there. There is no one on the commission or staff that want to do anything that would alleviate protecting the key deer and the natural environment there in Big Pine. So whatever we come up with, we'll continue to protect that special habitat and the creatures that live there.
Oh, and it is imperative work. Indeed, we appreciate those efforts as well. We need to protect those species for sure. We'll continue to get the word out about that workshop. We were speaking with Emily Schemper about that just about a week or so ago, but that is going to be an important community meeting Thursday, May 28th, 5:30 to 7:30, St. Peter's Church, Big Pine Key. So with that, Mayor, we will let you get on with your busy day. Hopefully you still have some coffee left in your mug to get you on your way. And we really sincerely appreciate your time here with us each and every time you visit with us here and our listeners. And we thank you so much for your dedicated service to our community.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a labor of love. So you take care, and everyone have a good day out there.
Wonderful. Take care of yourself. Bye now. It is Mayor Michelle Lincoln with us, Mayor of Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
The Key Largo Chamber of Commerce invites you to join them for their exciting monthly networking events. Members and non-members alike can enjoy a monthly networking luncheon on the second Thursday of every month, as well as an evening Members in Motion event on the fourth Thursday of the month. To register for Key Largo Chamber of Commerce events or to find out more information about this vital growing business organization, go to keylargochamber.org. That's keylargochamber.org.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Keys Auto Center, the Keys hometown dealership.
Hey folks, it's Stephen Bender at Key West Toyota. With record sales and our largest inventory ever, we've got the Toyota for you. And with our local deal match guarantee, you'll get the right deal without the Miami hassle. So come see the people you know, like, and trust at Key West Toyota on the Boulevard or at keywesttoyota.com. We've got the keys.
Key West is on the move with Key West Rides. Our transit service is customized for your transportation needs. With the Key West Rides app, you choose your bus stop pickup and drop-off locations, and you ride the bus on your own schedule. You can book a ride for now or book one for later. Key West Rides operates daily from 6 a.m. to 8:15 p.m. Download the app now and customize your ride with Key West Rides.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Thank you for that update on the traffic conditions. Weather looking good, and 84 degrees now, on our way to 90. Not a real significant chance of rain. Typically, we talk about the weather when we talk with Phil Goodman on a regular basis here. He is the board chair of Florida Keys Mosquito Control District and Commissioner District 2. And good morning to you, Phil.
Good morning, Michael, and good morning to your listeners.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being here. So we also wanted to talk to you because you are currently running for re-election to the seat of District 2 Commissioner for Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. So how many years have you served so far on the Mosquito Control Board for us, Phil?
I was appointed by then Governor Rick Scott in 2011 to fill a vacancy on the board, and I've been elected 3 times since. And I am the current chairman, and I've been reelected to chairman for the past 11 years. So I've really been a leader for the Mosquito Control Board for quite some time here in the Florida Keys, and we've seen many changes.
Yeah, we have. So let's talk about a few of those changes, if you would.
But, when I first got on the board, they just had a big dengue outbreak in Key West, the first outbreak that they had since in over 60 years in the United States. And for 2 years, more than around 100 people were infected. And when I got on the board, we realized, I'm a chemist. My background, I am a graduate chemist from North Carolina State University. I have an MBA from University of North Carolina, and I spent my entire career in the chemical industry, number of technical positions and executive positions. Last number of years before I retired, I was president of a large international corporation and shareholder. And so when I got on the board, I brought a lot of technology to the board because background experience really matters in mosquito control. And with the dengue outbreaks that had in 2009 and 10, when I got on the board, we saw that there were a lot of things they were doing wrong. And we made so many changes. We have changed the product mix for spraying from broad spectrum pesticides to now almost 80% of what we spray is really a very inert larvicide that is no impact on the environment and everything. So everything that we're doing now really is focused on protecting the environment and protecting the people, because mosquito-borne diseases are on the increase worldwide. There's one thing that we have really done a good job in the Florida Keys is keeping our citizens and visitors safe. And that's job number one for us, and we'll continue to do it. So everything that we're doing now is focused on protecting the environment, protecting the people, improving the quality of life in the Florida Keys, and doing it in a very economically responsible way.
Phil Goodman, he is running for re-election to District 2 of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. And Phil, we can talk in a moment about how mosquito control in the Florida Keys is viewed statewide, but also even nationally and internationally. But maybe explain what a board member does. People might not understand what your role is and why you have said that, background matters.
On our board, we have a 5-member board. They're elected, and we run on a partisan basis. But, mosquitoes bite everybody, Republicans, Democrats. So we try to keep the politics out of it, the real heavy politics, and focus on what we're doing. But the board basically, we are responsible for everything. We have control over everything that's done. We hire a director, and we normally, if everything goes well, the director handles most of the day-to-day operations. But the board has total oversight over everything done. And, it's really important at the budget season, which we're coming into now. And, but there's a minimal thing, and then there's unlimited what you can do. Like for myself, I brought strategic planning into it. I brought term limits. There's a lot of things that just were not done in the past that the board is responsible for. So, we've taken a real leadership position there to do what's necessary to really bring mosquito control to the forefront, because we're just not a bunch of good old boys spraying chemicals. I mean, this is a real complex science, and it gets more complex every year in the Florida Keys. You better know what you're doing to control the mosquito population and protect the environment, because, we, of all the very environmentally sensitive areas in the Florida Keys, we're surrounded by a marine sanctuary with the only living coral reef in North America, and about 40 endangered species. So there's really high regulation that you have to apply with. So, chemistry is the only thing that we use to control mosquitoes, and that's my background. And, a lot of people are afraid of chemistry and science. And, with my background, I'm not afraid of it. I respect it. And I think that's what you have to do. And that's why we've been able to really move forward in the Florida Keys and become one of the top mosquito control operations in the world. I'm on the board for the state mosquito control organization, and I see what the rest of the country and the state and the world has. And, in the Florida Keys, we have such a unique environment here. We have to be number one, and we work hard to do it. There's always things changing. It's a very dynamic business, so it's always changing. You have to be flexible, and the board has to be flexible on that and more or less go with what nature is throwing at us year by year.
Okay, Phil Goodman. He's current chairman and board chairman and District 2 Commissioner of Florida Keys Mosquito Control District. So, Phil, the election then for a board seat, is that countywide, or is it just the district constituents who vote within that?
No, it's countywide, Michael.
Okay.
It's just like the county commission. You have to live in a district. So we all live in a special district, 1 through 5 in Monroe County, but we are elected countywide. So it's a countywide operation. That's right. Right now I'm in the Upper Keys, and it's quite a job going to all the functions that you need to within the 120 miles of the Florida Keys.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and you've done a good job of being accessible and being visible, and you've been also, if I can say so, communicating the message of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, especially throughout last year, as far as talking about the economic impact to a lot of public gatherings, and the impact that Florida Keys Mosquito Control District has on the Florida Keys economy. So we saw you out doing a lot of that, and I wanted to at least give you some commendation for that as well. So, Phil, you've got a busy schedule to keep. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us and visit with us and our listeners. And I will continue to get all of the election parameters straight with the help of Sherry Hodes and others, because every election is different. But it's important to note everyone throughout the county will participate in selecting Mosquito Control District board members.
Correct. Yes.
Very good. Well, in our closing moments here, Phil, what other message would you like to leave with the voters countywide?
I like to have direct communication. So if anyone has questions, I prefer they call me direct. My cell phone is 305-600-8441. It's on our website. People call me all the time. I'm very accessible because mosquito control is very complicated, and going back and forth, emailing and on our website, it's very confusing. So I prefer to talk direct. So I invite anyone that's got questions or concerns, please give me a call anytime.
Very good.
I'm the chairman of the board of the Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, and that's part of our job.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for that. We will talk again in the future. It is 8:59. Time for you to get to your next meeting.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much, and your listeners have a great day.
Thank you, Phil. We'll talk again. Take care. It is Phil Goodman. He's the board chairman and Commissioner District 2, Florida Keys Mosquito Control District, running for re-election to his seat. His phone number directly, 305-600-8441. Should you like to have further conversations and learn more about Phil. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. Getting set for Glenn Beck coming up momentarily. He'll be following all the developments of President Trump in China, and we will be following breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news at least every half hour. Weather around the clock. It's Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. Thank you for listening.